Join the team.
Hey team, it's McGuire Review, and today we're going to take a look at the brand new version of Remix. Now, this is based on Fantasy Realms. It comes out by Wizkids, and it's a very cool little card game. I do think that the Marvel IP on this is pretty cool. They've done a number of different ones. They did a Star Trek one as well recently, if you are a Star Trek fan. You may want to pick that up. Would love to see a Star Wars one of these. That would be amazing. Very short little rule book. The game is extremely simplistic. They do include, which I thought was a little nice touch, a little pad here to calculate your score at the end of the game. So that's nice. Then there's this little thing here. And then you have all of the cards. Now, I do have the Remix promo pack here, which includes a couple cards. We got the Squirrel Girl. That's pretty awesome. And then you will have two different types of decks, and that's it, right? In this game, that's it. That's the whole box. So it really travels well. It is a 2 to 6 player game, so you can get a max of 6 people in on this one, which is nice. And each game runs about 20 minutes, and that's probably with a fully loaded crew. So it gets a little bit shorter there if you have less people. But you're going to have a remix deck, and you're going to have a villain deck. And when you start the game, you're going to shuffle these up, and everybody's going to get 6 of those remix cards and 1 of these villain cards. And you're going to hold those cards in your hand, and essentially, at the end of the game, you're going to have at least 1 villain card in your hand and at least 1 ally or hero card in your hand, or you just completely lose. It's like 0 points. So you do have to have that. That is kind of a requirement there at the end of the game. And every time it's your turn, you are essentially going to do one of 3 things. You're just going to draw a card from this deck, or you're going to draw a card from this deck, or you're going to draw something from we'll just say the deck or the selection of cards that people have discarded turn to turn. So every time it's your turn, after you draw something, you discard something. So there will be these cards that'll be setting out kind of in front of you as well, like this, as you play the game. Okay, these cards are going to get set out in front of you as people discard things. So you're always going to have these 3 different areas to draw something from. Now, once this area out here gets 10 cards, so once we've discarded 10 cards out here, and you would think, okay, well that's just 10 rounds, right? Because every round you have to discard something, so you obviously would discard, you'd always discard putting it out into this area. However, it would be over in 10 rounds if every single player always drew from one of these 2 cards, because then cards would just keep stacking out into this area and the game would be over after 10 rounds. What keeps it going longer than 10 rounds is a lot of these cards people will draw from, and then you know, they obviously are then replacing a card, but then you have the same amount that's still out here. You're going to have a number of different cards. You're going to have locations. You're going to have allies, heroes, the villain cards, and they're all going to work a little bit differently, but everything that you need is printed right on the card. It's super, super easy to be able to tell what they're worth and what they can do. There's essentially just 2 parts to every card. There is a point value that you'll see right up at the top that you can add up at the end of the game. And then at the bottom of the card, there'll be different text which will tell you, okay, it's less points if you don't have this many things, or every card that has a certain type of icon is worth, X number of points at the end of the game. And that's really cool. Sometimes it even calls for certain other cards. Like, hey, if you got this card and you have this other card in your hand, then it's worth X amount. So that's what makes this game kind of fun. You got a little bit of the set collection that you're going with. You got a little bit of this engine building that you're going with. And you're going to choose the cards that work best for you for what you have in your hand. And that's what I think makes the game fun, is like everybody is starting from kind of the same spot of just these random cards they draw from the beginning, or they're dealt. And then over the course of the game, you've really got to be paying attention to the top value as well as that bottom text at the bottom of the card, in how you optimize what you can draw over the course of the game. Now, that's going to work for the most part pretty well. I mean, someone that's good at optimizing and remembering what all the stuff at the bottom of the card says, you're going to be one of those top players at this game probably most of the time. if you're really paying attention. But it does come down to a little luck as well, based on what you actually draw. Because if you just don't get the cards you need or the cards you really want, and you wait too long to discard some of those cards because you're just not getting that combo that goes with that specific card, you're probably not going to win. So that's how Remix goes. Again, I do like this game. We've had a lot of fun with it. I do think that the Marvel version here is really cool. There's a wide array of Marvel characters and locations and different things that's in this deck, which I thought was done really well. So if this game interests you, you'll be able to get your hands on it. Depending on when this video comes out, you'll be able to get your hands on it really soon, I believe. It may still be for pre-order, but this is coming very, very soon. And again, it's a low-cost, really quick, fun little card game. And if you love the Marvel IP, it's probably going to be a good win for you. So if you like this kind of content, you hit that like. I do appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to follow the channel. We do lots of stuff like this on the channel. Board games as well as other tabletop type stuff. Keep rolling them crits. This has been McGuire Review. We'll see you next time.